Oh.
I've never heard of abortion causing breast cancer before.
It does.
It does, really.
I don't know about in every case, but it definitely raises the.
What do you know? What it is exactly that makes it cause breast cancer?
I have an idea. Mrs. Holman over there can explain it better.
Okay. That's not the real reason I stopped.
Okay.
The real reason I stopped was actually because I was on my way to a friend's house over in Hamilton, and I saw your signs and your pictures really graphic, and of course caught my attention. So I turned around to find out, is there some controversial thing going on between Iowa and Illinois? Is there a reason that you picked this specific spot to petition at or whatever?
Well, they've done this intersection at the bridge before, because it's not a big town, and that's about the best that they've been able
to get a lot of people.
Well, to get a decent amount. And I was asking them if there was a busier intersection near their house, and they said this is about all that we have, and they're elderly, so they can't get out like too much.
Right.
I mean, as far as like going places.
Well,
and so we ended up being here.
Is there anything going on in between Iowa and Illinois? Are they trying to pass new laws or something?
Not that I'm aware of.
Something about abortion at 21 weeks, and I got to counting 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. That's 5 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Women can legally get abortions at 5 months pregnant. Is that what that means?
Well, we're just showing it because this is a standard picture that I've seen over the years of that's a standard picture of abortion of a child murdered that I've seen over the years. It's one that's commonly used. And I mean, we'll use other pictures of children who are murdered later on or earlier on in pregnancy, like 10 weeks or 30 weeks. And that's, I'm not sure, I'm not from Iowa, so I don't know how far they go, but I guess I just try to communicate to people that no matter if it's at 21 weeks or 2 weeks or the moment after fertilization, it's murder, and we need to abolish it. And like that child was murdered at I believe 30 weeks, a little baby girl, and it's so we're just trying to expose it and show people this is going on, not necessarily in this community, but in Iowa, and people are allowing it, and they think it's no big deal because it's out of sight, out of mind. And we're saying it is a big deal, especially if you're a Christian.
Right.
And most Christians just go about their business like everything's okay.
Right.
And we're saying it's not okay.
I understand.
Are you a Christian?
I appreciate that. No. My grandma taught Sunday school for years, and I went to church for years. No, I'm not living by the Bible. I don't read my Bible, and I don't practice it. But
you're honest. Appreciate that.
I do appreciate where you're coming from, and I do think that abortion is wrong as well. So
any idea what will happen when you die? Did you give that any thought?
I have, and the thoughts about drove me insane. Because who knows? That's where faith comes in. Because nobody knows if there's a heaven or hell. Nobody knows if there's a God or not.
We do.
But we really don't.
Well, you do if the Holy Spirit indwells you.
Well,
but I've actually always believed in heaven and hell, always.
I always thought
even
that
as a
way
pagan.
too, you know. And I tell you, for a long time, I went to church. I read my Bible every day, and then just missing 1 week of church, and then the next thing you know, boom, it was gone. And
what was gone?
What was gone?
Yeah.
My faith.
Well, what made it disappear?
The pastor at the church, people in general.
Like what about them?
People that claim to be Christians that aren't Christians.
Well, that's everywhere in America, unfortunately.
But you know, in all fairness. Hey, that's rude.
Well, how are you?
Oh, really? Because he wants to speak his mind, he's rude?
Yeah.
He has a right to his opinion just as well as you do, ma'am.
Middle finger's not rude.
Wow. Wow, do you deal with that on a regular basis, hun?
Having those stuff thrown at me, or?
Having stuff thrown at you, yes.
It's only happened a few times, but I deal with hostility constantly, so I mean, I'm used to it.
And that sucks because you're not aggressive. You're just standing here having a right to speak your mind, just like just like they have a right to speak their mind, but you're not being aggressive about it. I feel for you, hon. I really
You don't have to be aggressive. You just show a picture and they hate you.
Yeah.
That right there.
They don't like to be reminded of it.
Well,
they like to live in.
The reason I mean I don't know them, but I can take you very. I'm pretty sure that the person who threw that and maybe other people in that car have murdered their babies.
Right.
They don't act like that unless they have.
Or they know someone that has murdered a child.
Yeah, that's because when people act like that, get that upset, they murder a baby. They participate in something.
Well, take care, hon. I hope you have a good day.
Well, I just encourage you, ma'am, to, regardless of any religious people you've talked to who've been bad examples, Jesus Christ can save you. I mean, there's always going to be bad apples out there.
I know.
And don't let that hinder you from Christ, because He is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but through Him. And like, all of us are going to die one day, and we're going to go to either heaven or hell. And like
That's where my question is, hon. Is there a heaven and hell? That's
there is.
Goes down to.
And well, I get one way to think about it is, if there is a heaven and hell.
There is a heaven and hell. That's right. And
if you're not sure, that's a huge risk you're taking, a big gamble.
I know.
And it's not worth the gamble.
I know.
I mean, it's
thought
not
about that too, and believe me, I have. You take care. Bye now.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Thanks for stopping.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.